What's up, guys? I'm Joe McGowan. I'm here with my friend Dave Miller, who happens to be the #1 handicapper in the world. We're monsterEV.com. Let's get right to the action, Dave. What do you say?
Let's do it.
Number 5. We're taking a look at Green Bay on the road. Aaron Rodgers looks more like Mr. Rogers as of late, right?
Yeah.
They're on the road against Minnesota, and they're getting one. Who do you like here?
This is a spot where, okay, Green Bay's coming off of a few losses. Minnesota couldn't look any better. So you would, by nature, want to take Minnesota here, but the point spread with it being Green Bay +1, I think you have to take Green Bay. Basically, one of the rules I like to do is go, what would this line be 2 weeks ago? And kind of make sure I'm going against whatever adjustment was made. And this would be the Packers favored by about 4. And I think it's another good spot because coming off these losses, you know we're going to get 110% effort. Minnesota, I mean, they're going to try too, but I think the emotional edge goes to Green Bay here for sure. And I think it's a good spot to take +1.
Number 4. Dave, we have Indianapolis on the road, kind of on again, off again this season. +6 points against, I feel, the overachieving Atlanta team. Who do you like?
I feel the same way. Two teams that kind of started, Indianapolis started the season kind of slow. Atlanta started fast. And now, after you look at the last game, the Colts knocked off Denver in Indianapolis. We're able to take a bye, so they kind of got past that. I wouldn't like this play as much if they had beat Denver last week, but it's kind of like they're able to reset, and I think 6 is a lot of points here. Even though they are on the road, I think the skill gap between the two teams doesn't warrant this to be 6, and I think it's a clear value bet to take the Colts +6. Atlanta's, like you said, they're kind of on the downslide right now.
So for someone like me, I think of the over in this game. I like the play, obviously. I always like all your plays. But I think of the over because it seems like Indianapolis, they're kind of never out of it. They're down by 672 touchdowns, and by late in the fourth quarter, they're back in it somehow. You know, it just seems like that's week after week after week with them.
Well, I mean, you could just take our play and just leave it at that if that's the logic. But yeah, the total here, I'll go ahead. I'll stay away from the total, I think, or I'll let it get bet up and go under.
Sounds good to me. Number 3, Dave, we're going to go ahead and take a look at Cincinnati on the road. They're coming off their first loss of the year. Cincinnati on the road with 5 points, playing against Arizona. What do you see here?
I love this pick because when I woke up Monday morning before the loss, I saw Arizona favored by 3. So Cincinnati, they lose at home as an 11-point favorite. And then I'm going, well, this might be about +3 even, small adjustment for the loss because you have to make some type of adjustment. The short week was already factored into that 3-point spread Monday morning. I wake up and it's 4.5. Now, to jump from 3 to 4.5 is a massive adjustment. And these two teams, I don't know, I almost think Cincinnati might be the better team too. So I love this play. I think it's a clear value spot to take +5. And if it gets better, maybe do another unit on 6, but clear value spot. Arizona, they have been playing good. I understand that. Plus, they're coming off of their huge win against Seattle. I was wrong on that one, but they're coming off their huge win, so they're kind of on an emotional downer. So I think that offsets the short week that Cincinnati has, and coming off that loss Monday night, they'll be extra pumped for this one.
Now, when you say you were off on that one, they were up by 5. Seattle was up by 5 in the fourth quarter. So that was kind of a coin flip type of game, and you have to win some, you do have to lose some. But with this pick, with Cincinnati, you actually had the other team last week, which are getting the 11 points, and they win the game outright. So last week you were against Cincinnati, but this week, Cincinnati, your number 3 pick.
I kind of feel the move up to 5 on this game from 3 to 5 is based off of the fact that Cincinnati, they did lose. And like I said, the short week's already factored in. So the fact that they lost, to me, is no big deal. It means they're going to try harder. That's how I look at it. So to jump through the key numbers of 3 and 4, let's do it. Let's take 5 here.
Number 2. We have the 4 and 5 Oakland Raiders on the road at Detroit, who just came off, rip down the field goal type of win. 2 and 7 with 2 points. Detroit's getting 2 points. Who do you like here and why?
Okay, where do I begin with this one? Detroit, sure, they're coming off of the huge emotional win, which usually I like to go against teams that do that because I feel it's kind of like they are on a downer. You know, you go all in and then they haven't won there in 27 years or whatever it is. So it's not exactly the greatest emotional spot. But the reason that this is a play is the advanced line on this was about a pick 'em. So you have Oakland, and this was before each team played their last game. Oakland, they lost to Minnesota, got hammered. Detroit won as a 10.5-point underdog. So usually there's an adjustment going up, meaning Detroit should be favored after that. And it was weird. It went the other way to now they're a 2-point home dog. So it's a very good value spot. I rarely see this. As you saw, there was adjustments the other way. Like Arizona was favored by more because Cincinnati lost. Green Bay, now they were a dog because they lost a couple in a row. But you have an adjustment the other way. So great spot for Detroit getting 2 or more. If this goes to 3, definitely do another unit or 2 on +3. But yeah, this is the number 2 one for sure.
Now, before we get to our number 1 pick of the week, this week's top 5 was kind of a struggle for you. You actually had about 9 plays, maybe 8 plays that you really had in the mix. You kind of bounced around the number 5 pick amongst a few different teams. What were you looking at in those spots that you kind of, if you had a top 8, what were you looking at there? Is there any value, anything you want to look at, or anything you want people at home to kind of keep their eye on if numbers move a certain way and a couple of maybe bonus picks?
Well, the way professional bettors do is they'll eye the sides they like Monday morning. And it's all price dependent, obviously. And a lot of them we pass if the value gets away, and a lot of them will put more if it gets better. But the other 3, besides the 5 here, Philadelphia is a 5.5-point favorite at home. That's light, and that there was a big adjustment there. Baltimore
So
minus
Philadelphia, though, is the play with the 5.5.
so they 5.5. Yeah, Baltimore -2 at home against the Rams, and San Francisco getting 12.5 at Seattle. That one looks like it's moving up, so maybe wait till right before the game on that one. But Seattle did obviously lose last week, and there was no adjustment made to that spread. So you know how I am with the adjustments. So what I do is I have these 8 picks, and then it's all how many units I put is all about the price. Just what happens with the price.
So for now, these kind of bonus picks, if you will, with the current numbers, we film on Wednesday, with the current numbers of -5.5,
For Philadelphia.
-2, and +12.5.
Baltimore and San Francisco, yes.
If those are the numbers and they stay the numbers, is this a half a unit each? Is this one?
Well, it's
unit
always
each?
1 unit.
So one unit each at those numbers. If it gets a little better, a little bit more.
Yeah, that's exactly what we're doing.
Well, there you have it. We're going to move to our number 1 pick of the week. So, David, now we're at the 4-5 Kansas City Chiefs, coming off a massive win last week. They're on the road at San Diego with Phillip Rivers, who's a phenomenal quarterback, but they're 2-7. They're getting 3 points, being San Diego. So, San Diego with 3. What side do you like? This is your number 1 pick. Why?
San Diego getting 3 or better here is the clear play. It's kind of one of those spots. Kansas City had one of the biggest wins ever last week. I mean, that was impressive. And what happens is, in that spot, everybody becomes bullish on that team. And it's kind of like they're looking at it from one side. They're just going, wow, the Chiefs went into Denver, knocked them off. Also, the funny thing about it was all the money for that game came in on Kansas City. So you had everybody, the sharp people, the public, everybody was betting Kansas City there. So what happens here is when they know everyone's bullish on that team and they covered the week before with all the money, they'll go ahead and they'll put it too high rather than too low. And it's kind of like stocks. You want to get a team on a dip or go against one that's high. Kansas City, like you said, they're 4-5. Now, sure, the Chargers, they're actually a worse team, but I love the spot here. They're coming off of a bye. They're a home dog getting 3. Now, this line a couple of weeks ago would be the Chargers by 2 or 3. And so I feel we got the best of both worlds. We're going against the overachieving team coming off the emotional win, and we're taking the team that's on a downer that had the off week and has time to regroup. So I think it's a great spot.
So there you have it, guys. There's David Miller's top 5 picks of this week. We're monsterev.com. Don't forget to check us out on Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube.